HP EliteBook 860 G11. I absolutely love this laptop. This is not a sponsored channel, not a sponsored video. I'm not selling you anything. This review will be based on my experience as an on-site IT technician in the past 22 years, and also as an end user. Yes, I also own one of these HP EliteBooks for 7 years now. If you only have a couple seconds and you just want to know if you should consider to buy one of these business class machines, this is not a gaming laptop. You need something reliable, something you can work from home remotely or at the office. You travel a lot, and thinking about maybe getting a Lenovo T series or their Latitude 7000 series or this HP EliteBook, I will definitely say go for it. This is a true workhorse. At this point, the HP EliteBook, it's pretty much its own class. And yes, the only thing what you have to be careful, this laptop by default comes with a 1 year or a 3 year mail-in warranty. If anything happens to this particular laptop, and if you only have one machine, I highly suggest to get the 3 year on-site warranty. You're gonna get definitely a quicker and better service. Other than that, I absolutely love this machine and go for it. If you have more time, let's sit back and relax, and we will get through every single components, what is out there, what would be my recommendation, why I ended up recommending my client to get this particular configuration. We're gonna disassemble this laptop. We're gonna see what can we upgrade, and we're gonna talk about the battery and every single options and every single part of my experience being an HP EliteBook owner in the past 7 years. So this particular machine was purchased by one of my clients from a legal field. They needed a large 16-inch screen with a keyboard which has a numpad, a full numpad on the side, because they're gonna crunch numbers. I have a lot of accounting firms as my client, and everybody who purchased an HP EliteBook this year and a past year, they are super happy with the laptop. Anytime I ask them how do they like their EliteBook, and they pretty much telling me that the best computer they ever purchased. So everybody in love with this particular EliteBook series. So this was part of a Black Friday deal. This machine was around $900 with a 16-inch premium-ish screen. This is a 400 nits bright screen, and when I'm telling you regards of brightness, why it's so important with HP, especially with the EliteBook, as we go up in brightness, we are getting a package deal. The 300 nits basic screen, or a 300 nit basic screen with a touch screen option. If you're just thinking about, oh, maybe the touchscreen would be nice, I never had one, I would like to give it a shot, don't do it, because the 300 nit panel, especially with the touchscreen, the view angle is not as good as this one. The colors are faded, while in here the colors are popping. It's crisp. It's a significantly better panel. We have more color accuracy in here. If I put the two panels side by side, the 300 versus a 400, it doesn't sounds like a lot on a paper, but in real life the 400 is a significantly better panel, significantly better to something to look at. Also, the camera right here, by default it's a 2 megapixel webcam. HP only asks, I think, like something like ridiculously low, $15 or $20 to get the 5 megapixel webcam with a dual mic. It's a Windows Hello capable device. Definitely do that upgrade. Don't get the 2 megapixel webcam in 2025. As we move down, we're gonna see the keyboard. The keyboard is a spill resistant keyboard by default, but it's non-backlit. Please get the backlit keyboard if you never had one before and just hesitating about it. $20 more, you can have a backlit keyboard. One of the best part of the HP EliteBook, this machine can and will last 6 to 8 years. I know there are some corporates and large companies are recycling their laptop every 3 years. The EliteBook, in my environment and based on my experience, can and will last 6 to 8 years without causing any kind of loss in productivity. These machines are a true workhorse machine. Again, these are not gaming computers. These are for crunching numbers, entering data, maybe running some local queries on databases, stuff like that. These are office computers. They don't have a dedicated video card. You can't not really edit videos or pictures on it unless you would step up to the Intel Ultra 7 series of CPUs. Then it's more capable, but by default do not get this as a gaming computer. So a touchpad is absolutely great. The best part of this HP EliteBook, and what I'm saying that this is pretty much its own class at this point, everything is metal. Everything is wrapped into this metal, and this metal is pretty amazing because from one end it's extremely firm and solid. The hinges, everything works just as it's supposed to be. This thing holds up the whole laptop firmly. Even a 16-inch, when you buy a 16-inch laptop which doesn't have a full metal body, the other end of the laptop just drips down from its own weight. We don't have any of that issue. The screen is also wrapped into this metal, and HP has been doing this for years and years. When I was in a market about 7 years ago, I was looking for a laptop which I would be carrying every single day, going from client to client, opening and closing the laptop multiple times a day, entering my note. And by this time I don't even have a laptop bag. I don't even have anything to carry. I'm just literally carrying my laptop as it is, putting under my driver's seat, taking out of the client, opening, closing it, and it's flawless. Look at the top of this laptop. There is no scrapes, there is no scarves. The top of the laptop technically looks like brand new after 7 years. I'm not super careful with this laptop. I probably should, and I also have to admit that I dropped this laptop way too many times than I would like to admit. And nothing. At one point I dropped this laptop in a server room and this corner literally hit the concrete floor. I was devastated. I was pretty sure that the screen will be cracked, the motherboard we're gonna have a significant damage, and this thing will never turn on. Nothing. I was pretty sure I was getting ready to see a busted corner, and nothing. All I can show you is this little bent in here. A year later, I was turning around with a laptop and I did not notice there was a metal beam behind me, so I ended up banging the HDMI port right into that metal beam. Nothing. The port, the metal covering the port has a little bit of dent, but the port works 100%, and every single time I'm opening this laptop in the past 7 years and hitting the power button, this thing is rock solid, no issues whatsoever. So that's why I have no hesitation to recommend the newer version of the HP EliteBook. There are some difference and there are some things I'm not really happy about as a technician, but mainly the things is pretty much unchanged. So I'm gonna head and get back to this laptop and tell you that everything I'm seeing with this laptop as a technician is top notch. This is still a true business class machine. We're gonna be able to take this apart with a single screwdriver and with one opener. Let me get you to the performance. So this machine was about $900. It has a 125 Ultra 5 H CPU. It has 16 gigs of RAM, 2 8-gig stick, and it has a 1 terabyte solid state. When you use this machine browsing, you're doing Excel sheets, Word documents, accounting softwares, medical softwares, this thing works as a workhorse. There is no hesitation, no issues. The fan is not screaming. The fan is actually not really turning on, and I absolutely love it. So this thing comes with a 65-watt USB-C charger. We have two USB-C charging port on the side of this laptop, unfortunately both located on the same time. Not only that, but these USB-C or Thunderbolt 4 ports are part of the circuit board. If you trip through the cord, or if you yank this thing out, or if you damage these ports, that's gonna be a motherboard replacement, or you have to find somebody who's capable to do micro soldering and replacing these ports, depends on the damage. So be very careful. Make sure you are very careful and know that these two ports are your only two options to charge the laptop. So HP designed this adapter pretty nicely. I absolutely love this textile wrapping around the regular cord. This might make the cord last longer than it's normal. If you drop this in a dusty, dirty floor, nothing. This will show no dirt, no dust whatsoever. However, this shiny part, as soon as you undo the wrapping, I don't know how, 5 seconds later, this thing has micro scratches all over the place. Is this a big deal? Absolutely not. The laptop was shipped out in a shipping box, which I was not ready to see. When this laptop showed up at my office, I was pretty sure HP made a mistake. I said there is no way that a potentially $2,000 laptop, depends on configuration and when it's on sale or not, will come out in this particular box, and the laptops was dangling in it. I was pretty sure that HP sent me like a $300, $500 laptop, but no, the HP EliteBook came out of it, and yeah, so I had a little bit of discussion with other system administrators, and they said, Scott, you are not a target. If you're expecting like a Dell black tinted box or a Lenovo nicer built box, when you can literally flip out and open and have a significantly better opening experience or unboxing experience, you are not a target. This is really going out for a large corporate or large environment when they buying these by the thousand, and the internal IT team will unbox them and putting in a laptop bag or laptop case, so the end user will never see the box. In my case, I like to give the end user a box if it's nice, because based on my experience, if they have a premium experience opening the box from day one, they will take care of the laptop better than if this would be in a cheap recycled cardboard just dangling in it. But I understand this HP, I think it's really trying to get a larger chunk out of the market share, because the Dell Latitude 7000 series, I think it's not as nice as this one. We don't have a great options regards of screens, the battery, the webcam, and the Lenovo T series is nice as these. This one has a full metal body, but the Lenovo can be more expensive than the HP. I think the HP is really trying to get as much as the business segment out as possible, and this machine is capable and shown me the reason why it should be and why it's there. Let's get through the performance. This 125H CPU is still capable to put out some performance. If you really want a game with some old games, yes, with a low medium settings you can get 30-40 FPS out of the machine, but its main purpose is just to be a workhorse. When you spec out the machine, as I mentioned, you're going to have a bundle regards of the screen, and the 400 nits or 500 nits non-glossy screen is really the best option. I would encourage you to spend that extra $75 or extra $150 going from a full basic screen to this screen, because the brightness is just one thing, everything else is getting bundled up. You might get a higher refresh rate, you may be getting a lower blue light emission, you may be getting a better view angle, maybe getting a more accurate, color accurate panel. And when I put my basic 250 nit panel next to a 300, next to a 400, the 400 shines. And don't forget that this laptop can and will last for about 6 to 8 years, so you're really making a decision for a long run. If I could go back and respec my laptop from 7 years ago, my own HP EliteBook, I would definitely get with a 400 nit panel, because I don't know what was I thinking. I'm an on-site technician. I thought the 250 nit panel, the basic panel, would be just fine, because mostly I'm just going to work inside my office or in a client office. No, I'm an on-site technician. I have to go outside of the building to look at security cameras, outdoor Wi-Fi installations, Ring doorbell, anything you guys can buy today and hook up to the side of the house. I have to do it, and on a bright sunny day, I cannot see the screen. The screen is just black, and I absolutely can't do anything with this laptop. On particular days when I have to work outside, I have to prepare another laptop. This is just not cutting it. But again, it's a package deal. If you have to spend 6 to 8 hours in front of this screen, don't get the basic screen, because the 400 nit brightness panel, what we bundled in, is significantly better. However, I think the 500 is the only panel which an average user should purchase. Why I'm saying that? Because if you're looking at the spec sheets or options, there is an option for 800 nits and 1000 nits. And Scott, you just told me if we're going to go up, we're going to get more things bundled in, nicer features, nicer panel, higher quality. The 800 and 1000 comes with something, it's called a privacy screen. So what is the privacy screen? It is a feature which prevents shoulder surfing, which means the view angle going to be extremely limited on that panel. It is not for shine to blast you away with the panel corner, but it's preventing people to see your screen behind you or next to you, so you can only be technically in one particular dialed in position. As soon as you move out just a teeny tiny bit, the panel will black out instantly. A lot of people get frustrated. They spec out a high-end CPU, a lot of RAM, a lot of SSD, because they knew this thing can and will last for a long time. And then when the machine was delivered, they are shocked to see how bad the panel is. The panel is not bad, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just not for you. So let's get through the ports. Let's see what we have on this particular model, and then let's pop up the bottom cover and let's talk about the build quality, the construction, everything, the battery, and upgrade capability from a technician standpoint. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing down and tell you that this is not the most affordable laptop for sure. This is not the most upgradable laptop on the market, and this is also not the best performing laptop on the market. And overall, what we have here is a super good package. As a technician, I cannot be more happy to see things in here. There's only going to be one disappointment regards of the build construction. So on one side, we only have a SIM card slot in here, a security lock, and we have a USB 3.2. This is getting more rare to see this on a laptop. We have a headphone out. On the other side, we have a card reader. We have two Thunderbolt 4 port. One of them is a display port, and then we have another 3.2 USB port and an HDMI. So that is pretty much it. We don't have a hardwired network connection anymore, which is kind of disappointing, and I would have loved to see another USB-C or a charging port on the other side. What we also not seeing in here is any kind of spot where the hot air would escape from the laptop. We see this bottom part in here for a cold air intake, and you have to be careful. This is not a couch surfer. Do not put this on a couch cushions or in a bed. Do not put it on your laps, because you're gonna block the only place where the laptop can get fresh air, and it's gonna cripple your performance. It's not gonna shut down, might gonna overheat, but in general, this thing is quiet as it gets. There is no high-pitched fan noise. Yes, if you really push this thing to its max, it can go up to as high as 60 decibel, but and the fan gonna be generating a good amount of noise, but it's not the most uncomfortable thing what you would get in a consumer grade laptops. So let's go ahead, let's pop up the side cover, and let me tell you what I absolutely love about this laptop as being an on-site or a field technician. So first of all, we only have these 5 screws. There is nothing under these rubber lines in here, and this is pretty good. We don't have to take any kind of notes. We don't have to take pictures. All these screws, these 5 screws, are exactly the same length, and they don't even come out. They stay seated into the bottom cover, which is pretty awesome. So once you loose things up a little bit, we're gonna need one opener. Don't get the guitar opener. Do not put anything in here but a plastic opener with a really short edge. This is exactly what you need to have. You can get a kit on Amazon or anywhere else for around like $8. So do not try to put any metal in here. Only use the opener with this kind of hook, and just put it in here and lift it up. And as soon as you do it, both end pops up. You can put your opener away, and you can literally just lift this metal bottom cover away. Here's some model numbers in case you're looking for a replacement. But before you get any kind of parts, take apart yours, take down the exact model number, and go from there. So let me show you what we have here. So first of all, one of my big surprise is the battery. The battery lasts about 8.5 hours. This is a 56 watt-hour battery, and I absolutely love it. I don't need to even put on the battery saver. I don't need to do anything with this battery to have 8.5 hours out of it, which means it's a full all-day battery for me. I think for $33 you can get a 76 watt-hour battery, which I'm pretty sure going to add like at least 3 more hours or maybe even 4 just by removing this reinforcement in here, which is absolutely amazing, and I love it. Look at the reinforcement around all the edges, and look how far the actual circuit board is from the corner. So anything happens to this laptop, if you drop it like I did mine, there's a good chance that the laptop will survive just fine. Look at all these extra space. I really wish that these USB-C ports would be separated from the main circuit board, but they are not. In here you see this little panel with the USB 3.2 and a SIM card reader. We have a little bit of ribbon cable, so anything gets ripped out of this end can be easily replaceable. Not in here. This is going to be a motherboard replacement. We have only one solid state slot, this M2. So if you want to be on a cheap end and you're going to buy a 250 solid state, you need to have an external caddy to hook up a new SSD and clone everything over, or just put a brand new 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, whatever you want in here and do a clean install. We have a Wi-Fi card in here with a Bluetooth, which is still replaceable. That's great. We have 2 slots for DDR5 RAM. You have to lift up this little metal shield, and then you have access to the 2 slots. I, just for fun, grabbed probably the most affordable kit from Crucial on Amazon. 64 gig, 232 gig model, and just dropped it in, and it works flawlessly. One thing to be aware: if you had 8 gigs or a 16 gigs, or definitely smaller modules, and you put a large amount of RAM into this PC or any laptop or any desktop, be patient. Once you put this in, turn on the laptop and wait. Sometimes it takes almost 1 minute for a new RAM to be initialized and tested, and maybe the machine will even shut itself down. Just be patient, don't do anything, wait, and then if the machine shuts itself down, hit the power button and it will boot up normally, and it probably give you a little message like, hey, the amount of RAM changed from 16 to 64, and it will work flawlessly. This particular kit worked great in this laptop. If you want to save some RAM or want to save some money on the RAM, this is an easy option since it's so serviceable. In here we are having a slot for a WAN card, and I don't think this can be utilized as storage. On Dell models, yes, you can use the WAN port as a secondary storage options. I don't see any documentation in here. I don't see anyone reporting to be able to successfully install a solid state drive in here. If you made it happen, please let me know in the comment section. I love sharing the knowledge. I would really like to see if you can put a secondary solid state in here successfully. Regards of the cooling, unfortunately, this is probably the only part where I'm not really happy with the machine, because we have this low-end cooling method when we are venting out the hot air instead of the side of the laptop, just like we did with the older generation. So the hot air leave this laptop freely on a side, not really causing any thermal issues. And what we have here, we don't have that. We are pushing the hot air out to the back side of the laptop, where it immediately bounces into the bottom of the screen. Now, this will not make your screen fail or cause any overheating or whatnot, but we still have a little bit of throttling. It's a significantly nicer option when we're pushing the hot air on the side of the laptop. And also with a 16-inch, I was hoping that we're going to have 2 of these blocks next to each other's. No. So the 840, the 14-inch version of this laptop, the motherboard, the battery, everything looks almost identical. We only don't have this part in a 14-inch. Other than that, they are exactly the same. I'm not telling you it's the same model number exactly, and everything's the same spec. But once I took the 840 out apart, it is just by eye, it's completely matching. We just don't have this amount in here, and that's pretty much it regards of the HP EliteBook. I absolutely love this thing. If you have any question regards of this particular machine, need any recommendation to getting a new laptop, please let me know in the comment section. You are the best by watching this video all the way to the end. Thank you so much. I'll see you at the next video. Scott's out.